Hello guys, welcome to another section of cataloging with the use of Robot Mini Catalogue application. So today's video we'll be dealing on cataloging a book with two authors. We'll be cataloging a book with two authors. In the first aspect of the practical cataloging I did in my recent video, the first practical we did was on a single book, on a single author book. But this time around, I will be showing you about cataloging a book with multiple authors. But to be specific here, it is two authors. So you will see how it will look like with the added entry, how it is being prepared for books with two authors. And so furthermore, we will also deal with books with three authors and even more, because there is a principle guiding books with more than three authors, because you will not write all the authors, you will not provide it. The remaining authors will be represented with ETA. So later we'll be dealing with that on another video, but today we'll be focusing more on cataloging book with two authors. So what I want you to know is that this process is very important, because when you have a constant view, when you are seeing something often and often, a practical view and a study of all these catalog entries and the results, you'll be able to understand the process. You'll be able to have the knowledge of how these entries are arranged systematically. The arrangement involve all these author statements, title statements, edition, even collation and imprint, how you can arrange them, and most especially the use of punctuation in cataloging, where you have to use colon, where you have to use hyphen, understood. So but by the time you are using this application, you are getting the result of every entry you want to prepare. You are seeing the results on the 3x5 graphical card. You'll be able to understand the process of cataloging, so that even without when you are in a situation whereby you don't need the application, where you have to do it offhand, you'll be able to maneuver your way and prepare any form of catalog entry. So, and it's also important to deal, so that you'll be able to deal with any various form of books you want to. Maybe a books with only a single author, a book with two author, a book with three author, a book with even no author, that is presented with editor. So you'll be able to deal with them. So let me go straight to prepare catalog. These are recent entry. Let me clear the feed so that we'll be dealing with it afresh. So this is like a new worksheet for you to enter your details, the elements, the bibliographic details of the book will be cataloging. So but with me, I will be reading briefly to your ears elements, the element of the book I will be using for this practical section. The title is a guide for compilers of bibliographics and index. A guide for compilers of bibliographic and index. The author here is Abel A. Kolawole and Jerry A. Ijiebor. So these are the authors that are responsible for this work, for this knowledge. So it is the first edition, because there is no edition before, and there is no edition after, to my knowledge as at now. The imprint, it is published by Credence Press Limited in Delta State, and in the year 2018. These are the elements you have to know before we go into cataloging process. The collation, it has 11 preliminary pages, and 128 normal pages. So this is what the book pages consist of. It has illustration. There are some illustration in terms of index, how an index will look like. So it is presented in the book. and he also has some notes, the reference, appendix, and index. These are notes to the book. He has an ISBN, so I'll be typing the ISBN later on. So without wasting much of our time, this is like a worksheet that you are going to prepare. You are going to type in your details, the details of the book. That you are going to type in the details of the book. So I will be typing the details now to the worksheet as it is given in the book. First, here is the author's name. So we'll be considering the first author mentioned here. The first author that is mentioned here, we'll be considering it, which is Abel A. Kolawole. The first name here is Abel, followed by the initials. You can also include it. Then the last name here is Kolawole. So there's a provision for second author, as earlier informed you. So what we will do here, we will activate the switch for second author's name. So that's when you will have the access to input the second author's name. So let's go with the second author, Jerry A. Ijiebor. So that's about the author's names. So moving next is the editor's name. There is no editor for this book, so we will skip that. The title, so we have to provide the title here, which is a guide for compilers of bibliographies and indexes. That's the title. No prior title given. Move on to the edition. The edition here, as I told you, there's no books that have been published before this and none after, so we will consider this as the first edition. So we move on. The place of publication, I told you the place of publication is Delta State, so put on Delta. Name of publisher, the name of publisher is Credence Press Limited. It's published in the year 2018. That's when it's been published. Moving on, the preliminary pages. I told you the preliminary pages is 11, written in this format, 11, and the normal pages consist of 128 pages. So, and illustration, I told you that's illus, so you indicate it like that, illus. Length of the book, actually I don't know the length of the book, but we can skip it. It's not a vital element to put to record, to prioritize. The series also, there's no series provided. The notes, I told you the notes given in this book are references, appendix, and index. And the ISBN for the book is 978-962-1033. It's a paperback. In the first year I told about the paperback, the hardback, and in their both. So this kind of book is a paperback. The price not stated. The subject, yes. In this aspect, the classification has to be done before, so that's where you will know the subject of the book and the classification number. So I did a raw classification for the book, and I might not be accurate. But I will be going for the subject because it's under library and information science. That's it. It's under library and information science, a book that deals with a guide for bibliography and index, and those people that are into preparing bibliographies and index. So I will be assuming the subject to be bibliographies. and the classification number using DDC. The Dewey Decimal Classification will be 0 to 5. Let's assume so from 0.016. Actually, you can get to validate this number. Is quite similar when I was trying to do my rough classification. There's a correlation with it to the title of the book and what it's talking about. So let's move on. The accession number, accession number is collection of the acquisition of book in order of their collection. So let's give it a number, like assuming this is our 1034 collections. So this is how the elements provided will look like. So you can revalidate it to see if you have not missed any feed, and even if you miss an important feed, you won't be able to proceed. That's just how it is being programmed. So if we are okay with the elements provided, what we just do is proceed to catalog. So we wait and see. Yes, so this is how the catalog entry results will look like. Provided you are preparing it on a card at your different location. So this is how it will look like, and starting here is the main author entry, which is Kolawole Abel. We have recognized as the first author, which will automatically stand as the author main entry. So there are other added entry you can see, like the subject added entry, the title, and the second author added entry, which is the main purpose of the cataloging we are dealing here. So I will click on the second author to see how the added entry will look like. So you can see this is how the added entry for the second author will look like. So you can decide to copy it, do more on it, share. You can save the card to your card gallery, which I will do. Let me see. Okay, card has been saved. You can decide to share the card to any format on your WhatsApp to your friend, and you can also decide to share it as text. So whatever you feel like doing with it, you can. So this is how it will look like if you are preparing a book with two authors, to see how the added entry for the second author will look like and how the catalog entry will look like as a whole. So on this session, this is what we'll be dealing more, and this is the concluding parts aspect. Let me show you the catalog we have saved on the catalog gallery. Let me show you. You can see it here. Ijiebor. So it was when we switched to the second author added entry, we saved the card. So that's why it's using the name of the second author to save the card with. So let's just click on it to see. You can see this is how the catalog card will look like for catalog you have prepared, and this is the results we have gotten. So I'm sure if you have any further information or suggestion or what is not clear, you can make it know in the comment section. I will be attending to them. So but for now, so far we can go on books with two authors. Furthermore, we'll be dealing on books with three authors and more. But for now, thank you for watching. Bye.